Hello, welcome to the Serious Sideshow. Today we have our guest, Pokey Flunky. Say
Hello.
hello. Um, so today we will be covering cancellation on several different platforms. Main point of this podcast is to give light onto more serious topics than what the broadcast podcast would be bringing up. So that means this will be talking about a lieu of things that people may not be comfortable with: politics, economics, things of that nature. So feel free, if you don't want that, log off now. It's not worth your time. And with that, we can get started. So, as you know, cancellations have been a big thing in the past couple years with YouTube and Twitter, especially when it comes to Twitter. Because, and I mean, this is not to say
Ugh.
that cancellation by itself is a bad thing. It has a good intention, but as you know, the path to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, the problem with cancellation for me is most people just use it as a weapon. Like, I mean,
And to this degree, I have to agree in the fact that when you hold people accountable for what they've done, I do not see that as cancellation. I see that as holding people accountable. I see cancellation as the simple fact of you bringing up the most minor detail or I mean, ages ago, something someone's done and has moved past from and can't, and ruining chances, future careers, anything of that nature. And that means that you have seen the person grow past that. So I feel a good example, the Amber Heard case. If you don't know, of course, Amber Heard and what was Johnny Depp, they had a divorce, and Amber Heard claimed that Johnny Depp abused her. Come to find out, that's not true. And so people had canceled Johnny Depp at first, but then started canceling Amber Heard. And we could see that from a humongous push from Reddit communities to do that. Um, so what do you think about that, Pokey?
mm, well, I mean, when it comes to Amber Heard, um, yeah, the whole fact of the matter about that one is that, yeah, Johnny Depp really should have been canceled because there wasn't too much evidence there, and now there's just here, have entire textbooks on why Amber Heard was actually the one being abusive here.
Yeah, and I think me and Pokey can both agree that to some degree, a form of really bad cancellation would be something along the lines of not checking your bases, not getting 100% of the facts and running with, say, 25 to 50% of it. That is a big problem that we run into. Again, Amber Heard situation is a very good example of that. We saw not everyone had the full story, yet they started something. And I think another example of that is under one of my personal favorite YouTubers, musicians, and just a lieu of other things.
It's Game Grumps.
Game Grumps, Daniel Avedon. Um, he was canceled a couple months back for well, they had tried to cancel him because of, they believed he was grooming and or just having lewd conversations with an underage minor. And this is completely and utterly false. You can look at literally everywhere. There's so much evidence against it. Um and the problem was that people took there was a post on a Game Grumps Reddit, and people had talked about how much of a scumbag he was and all this sort of junk. And like, I remember this comment particularly because this was the comment that made me think, did he actually do this before we had all the facts? And it was something along the lines of, I don't care if people are saying that he didn't do this. This is, if you still think he didn't do this, then you're joking yourself, or something along those lines. And it was it worried me because he's one of my favorite, a lot of things. He's a great guy. And come to find out, the person who quote unquote accused him had been lying.
Well, I mean,
I'm not sure if you know
I'm
much
pretty
about this,
sure
Pokey.
I'm pretty sure how it happened was like she like didn't have all of the evidence, or like like the dates and whatnot, and just went like, well, here's my very minimal evidence. Let's get this ball rolling.
Yeah. From what the thing was talking about, the main thing that happened was someone came forward to someone who created the Reddit post and was like, "This man, Daniel Avedon, he had conversations with me back when I was a teenager, or like 17 or something like that at the time." And she said that later on they had a relationship of adult levels. And so the claim there was that there was grooming involved. And the problem with that claim was the text messages that they had between each other came out. And the text message he had with her when she was 17 was something along the lines of, "Hey, I really like your music. You're such a great artist. When are you coming to this town such and such?" And they said, "Oh yeah." He said that, "Yeah, we'll be having uh a show there sometime in the later date and we'll keep in touch with you then." And they claimed that that was grooming. And that like, can't you agree, Pokey? That's a bit of a jump to a conclusion.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that there was also conversations like down the road when she was already like 21, where they did
Hmm.
end up having some things going on. Now, let me just be completely honest. I know that he eventually like ghosted the girl, and I believe that's a bit of a scummy move, but
Yeah, it is, and I will be the first to say, yeah, that's a bit of a scummy move. But in the end, I don't think
it's
canceling
not
him over
grooming though.
little details, yeah, grooming and heavy claims like that sort of crap is just not fair at a base
This
level.
isn't James Charles level of bad, all right?
Yeah.
We'll get
um,
to that, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm sure we'll hit that at some point. But that's my big problem. But then there are good cases of this sort of thing, like extreme amounts of behavior that is just not okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Um, yeah,
James Charles. Look at that.
good
He didn't
point.
even have to go too
That
far.
some of the stuff. I'll be honest, I don't know about much about that
Oh,
situation.
I
So maybe you
watched
could
so much
enlighten
Bo
me there,
Blacks.
Pokey.
I watched so much Bo Blacks. So let's see. There was allegations last year of him grooming, like being like, "Hey, you want to see some? Can I see your dong or something?"
Oh
And
God.
it this I'm really good at just pretending like I know exactly what I'm talking about, but and
No, if you can
oversimplifying things.
try,
But that's beside the point.
simplification is okay as long as you stay truthful, in my
Yeah.
opinion. As long as you stay
Um.
truthful to what you're saying, simplification is okay.
Yeah. But anyways, um, he he went on to, I think it was at the second time when he did it to someone. He was like, "Okay, guys, I guess I have to ask for an ID on how old this kid is." All right. What if the thing has a if the person has their age in their bio? I'm pretty sure like
Hmm.
it was and the problem, like, all right, this is already scuzzy enough, but going after younger age for people, they were straight.
Yeah, having
That
conversations with a minor in general is like, I don't know about that one. I believe if you're above the age of 18, there's a cutoff point with talking with people under the age of 18. The second you turn like legally able to drink, you should probably stop having those like any conversations with people under the age of 18. Let that be playing games with them or anything of that nature. I mean, within reason. Within reason.
my thing is just don't be overly flirty,
Yeah, definitely. Don't
cause
be
cause that's a
reaching.
big
Don't
no
be
no.
far.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
don't
Um.
I can't stand people that do it because it just really pisses me off.
Oh yeah. let me amend my last statement. So what I mean by you don't really want to have conversations is solo conversations. If you're
Yeah.
playing a game with a guy, like that's all right. But as long as you're not like Snapchatting them privately or Instagramming them privately, I don't see much of a problem with it.
Well, I mean,
Um,
another person
but
that I know from Xbox, she said that she was in like cahoots with a, or well, was talking to another person on Xbox. It was apparently a Swedish dude, and apparently, I don't know how much. Yeah, I can't prove anything 100% or any of that stuff because honestly, I don't. She didn't give any evidence, but apparently, that dude eventually groomed her and asked for some
yikes.
colorful pictures.
Oh, great. Now one thing. Now there is one person that I do think who was rightfully canceled for past things. And I'm sure many people have heard of this name. Shane Dawson.
Oh, oh no. Oh
He
no.
was canceled for the right stuff.
Yeah,
That he went so far over the line of past mistakes that if you didn't cancel him and you still supported him, it was more of a problem
yeah,
because
and
he was the things he rapidly and just did not care about and never truly grew past was so bad that it was I 100% agree that it was okay to cancel him.
I mean another person that I didn't know too much about until like recently after believe it or not, I'm going to get to this person eventually because he is someone that's a bit of an inspiration before he did his Comey thing. But John Swan, his videos about like onion son, onision, I don't know.
I
I
can't
don't.
say I know that name to be honest. I may have seen videos of his, but I
It's
can't remember to be honest.
it's 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 really fetishy. I can tell you that.
Oh. Oh, all right then.
Let's see, underage stuff like straight to gay relationships, well, more technically lesbian relationships, technicalities in that. I don't want to piss off and get us canceled. Um,
Yeah, no thanks on that one.
yeah, that would be awkward. Um, let's see. Um, God, there's so many scuzzy things. Like he wrote books, and oh God,
Oh. Yeah, sorry. I got my second COVID shot and my shoulder is hurting.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Um But yeah, I think there's a degree of cancellation. There's a point where once you get all of your facts and once you realize, holy crap, this person actually did this, has never grown past it, and this step so far over the line, they should not have a career to this point. Exactly like Shane Dawson.
All right.
Racist. Wait, go ahead.
One thing real quick. If there's a question about if you like nutted on your cat, why do you
Oh,
still have a platform?
yeah. If if you made like a puppet show where the puppet constantly just had awful stuff going on to it and it was scripted to be underage, that is not okay.
No.
Like that is not okay. I don't care what world you come from. I don't care how far into the future you go and how not okay people have become with things. That is not okay. Because that's a big thing of it. A lot of times people will do things not knowing it's not okay because of unknown repercussions in the future. And to some degree, this defense is understandable. But to many degrees, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Because what can easily people can claim is, I didn't know, so why am I being punished for it now? And that simple defense is not a proper defense. There's a difference between being honest about a mistake and then lying about it. And that would be an example of lying.
All right. Two things that I have to clear up first is let's go on a quick side road here. The apology
Mhm.
videos after a cancellation.
Oh man,
There are
we could talk about
some
this for the rest of the show.
terrible ones, like wretched ones, like holy cow.
The fact that there are memes made about the YouTube apology sort of thing is just not okay. Like,
I'm pretty
not the
sure
fact that the memes are made, not the people who make the memes are bad. The fact that it grows evolutionary into a meme is not something that should be happening. An apology should be so real and emotional, especially when it's something serious allegations have been brought forward, that nobody should be laughing about it in the end. You
I,
shouldn't be like, "Oh my god, this is such a bad apology." You should be like, "I feel your apology has been good, and I accept that."
it's a bad sign when bloody
Looking
moist.
at you, Jake Paul. Wait, was it Logan or
All right,
Jake?
I don't know, I don't know, but it's a bad time when bloody moist critical makes a tier list of YouTube apologies. You know, the man, the myth, the legend can almost say anything on YouTube without getting him completely screwed. Can just mock that and just make it more of a meme. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
and it's
And
a
so,
bad thing.
I think a great example, two people. One, differencing circumstances that may have caused different things. The other, 100% a bad thing. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Whoever it was, I think it was Jake Paul. Let me look it
It's
up.
one of the. Won't say that.
Yeah, it was his apology. Um,
Was it the Suicide Forest one or was it the?
yes, it was that
Okay,
one.
then it was Logan. Then
It was Logan.
yeah, it
Okay,
was Logan.
whatever the younger one was, the guy who does boxing now.
Well, I mean,
That
they
guy.
both do boxing, and the younger one is Jake, I do believe, but I don't know. See,
Yeah,
you're
I never
confusing me
cared enough
because
about.
I know for the Suicide Forest event, it was good old fashioned Logan.
Yeah, yeah, that one. So the problem I have with that kid is not only did he grow his fan base through stupid crap, but then when he takes a knowing, a knowing viewership age of like 11, 12, maybe 13, 14, and goes into a forest known in Japan as the forest, we'll put it like that blandly, and definitely not an okay thing for any social media person to go into because of the connotations and how awful suicide is and how just
I'm pretty sure he
just
even
awful.
filmed a corpse just
He
hanging
did.
out,
He did. He did. The fact
which
that
is,
he saw that, recorded that, and put it online
and he had to
is
edit
the
it
worst.
too. You know,
Yes,
I'm
you
an
bring up an
editor.
excellent point.
I'm an editor. You have to be like, should this actually be on our YouTube channel? Should this actually be here? I was editing the podcast last week from, and it was like some of the comments. I'm just over here like, perhaps that shouldn't be in case of future occurrences.
Yes, if you have to bring up, or if you have to, sorry, I got mistracked. If you have to rewatch the video, say, will this get me more fame, more subscribers, viewers, yada yada yada, and say yes it does, and that video includes an act as horrible as suicide, there is something fundamentally wrong with that. Like, there's no way to properly say, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it's
There is none.
no,
And
there's none.
then I think one you Reddit comment really also put it. If you don't know, I'm a absolute prime Redditor. That also means several other things, but that's okay. It's okay. if you monetize your apology video, that
Oh
automatically makes
yeah,
me feel like
that's
you are completely insincere about it.
yeah, that's
Um, because if you have to be like, yeah, guys, I'm so sorry, and then right in the middle of that there's an ad, that's a problem, guys.
and I mean,
Uh,
let's quickly go on the second tyrant of what I was going to say. The people that
mhm.
can't seem to be uncancelable for good things like good old fashioned J Schlatt. J Schlatt is
Oh
hilarious.
yeah,
And
yeah.
for
Now
the
that's
bad
some
spectrum,
content there, guys.
um, Senor Killer Keemstar.
Don't even get me started on Keemstar. I have a personal hatred of Keemstar. Like it's grown such far past the okay, yeah, he just does what he does to get views to an actual hatred of
Oh
him.
yeah, trust me,
And
I don't. I'm not a fan of.
literally, if
I
you felt like
I
it's just,
I
mm,
I am not a fan of Ethan Klein. Let me just say that right now. I'm not a fan of Ethan. I'm not a fan of um Keemstar. They both suck equally. But Keemstar finds a way to piss me off. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of racist stuff. I'm really not a big fan of hearing that somebody from was able to get a following and somehow manage to keep it, even though let's see they've said racist stuff. Maybe as all right, I'm cool with jokes, most jokes, but some jokes just take it way too far. And I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure he has apologized about it in the past, which is fine. But there's still some stuff that he's way too egotistical.
yeah. The main thing I feel with Keemstar is when you have to have your entire fan base based around you reporting on the latest drama. I just don't understand that. How do you say that, yes, this is what I want to make my YouTube career about? Just literally talking about drama. And that's not to go against anybody who talks about other serious topics. That's specifically people who fabricate, lie, and try and amp up that drama. People, because that's what Keemstar does. And I
Yeah,
only talk about people like that. Anybody else who like spreads news, awareness, or anything like that, I'm completely fine with. I have subscription to several channels like that. My
I mean,
problem
I'm a fan
is
of
when you
scares.
lie and drum up that drama for personal gain.
Yeah, I'm a fan of scarce because scarce is good for like those small doses of what's happening in the YouTube space. Because honestly, if I'm going to pursue YouTube, I sort of need to know this. So it really annoys me when I'm just being like, oh, hello, yes, uh, I'm Killer Keemstar, and now I'm going to start more drama.
Yeah,
It,
I
it's
just
it's a bad sign
it.
when like
Mm,
Bo Blacks when Bo Blacks and has to make like 50,000 episodes worth of Ethan versus Keemstar over and over and over
yeah,
and again.
when you
It's
have to drum up drama just to get more views or for personal direct personal gain, I have big problems with that because you shouldn't be report one of my opinions is a reporter's code is not to make things worse, it's to simply give the facts about a situation. And if you step past that line, I believe that you are aiding and abetting in whatever you're trying to stop and report on.
yeah, it's I again scarce is fine because he just dips his toes. He doesn't do anything. He says his opinions on some cases and
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like
doesn't stir it up.
to reiterate, it is completely fine to report on those sort of things. It is completely fine to talk about topics like that. My big problem, like, I don't think you're doing the right thing if you do it for direct, like, gain. If you do it simply because you know if I report on this topic, it will make me money, or if I report on this topic or bring awareness to this, it will benefit me directly in some way 100%. And that is the only reason I'm doing it. I'm not okay with that. If the only reason you're doing something and trying to bring awareness to something is for personal benefit and not benefit to that cause or benefit into helping stop something, that is not okay with me.
Yeah. And one other thing that I just completely and get annoyed with, and what is a rightful thing to get canceled for, is weaponizing your audience. And this is the part where I get to John Swan. So I know a lot about the John Swan situation because I love John Swan. I liked his editing, I liked his videos because they were very professional until that situation. Pretty much what happened, to sum it up as best as I can, was he was Dream, good old fashioned Dream smiley face Teletubby man that's homeless. Um, said in a Reddit post with, I think, maybe 5 upvotes on a comment was something along the lines of that yeah, that John Swan fella isn't to something to, you gotta watch out for him, and he blew it so out of proportion, and Dream was like, hmm, yeah, that's not good. It was mind-boggling for me because it was just like he put it so out of proportion. He was the one that got himself canceled. He shot himself with his own bullet. He did it to himself.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everyone. I disconnected for a moment. I'm currently at my grandparents, and they do not have the best Wi-Fi, so I'll be switching to headphones as soon as I can. But yeah. Definitely, one thing is you don't ever want to shoot yourself in the foot. If you ever think at any point in time, is this a bad thing? Is doing this wrong? And you ever come to the conclusion that maybe it can be seen as wrong, then it's wrong. You should not be doing it.
The,
If
the the thing about the John Swan situation was it really pissed me off because, let's see, Optimus, um Bo Blacks, all of the like commentary YouTubers that I enjoy were all like ready to help him. They were all ready to just help him in every way possible because, ooh, Dream, big evil Teletubby was going to
I'm gonna disconnect for just a moment. I'll be back on my headphones. So you go ahead, Pookie.
yeah. And the problem I had with that situation was that he was just he weaponized he weaponized all of us. He weaponized his fans. He weaponized his friends. He weaponized everyone just to go after Dream. And when the thing he gloated that he was getting more subscribers of the situation, and every it was just being all right, and until the only time Keemstar has ever done anything good. Well, I mean, he has done some good in the past. Don't get me wrong, but
Uh, I semi
listen,
disagree, but that's
listen
okay.
to me. Listen to me. He has done good things. A lot of he's done really terrible things. It the good doesn't outweigh the bad, obviously. Um,
It,
but
yeah, I can agree with that.
but when Keemstar was like, "Hey, you and Dream should get on the drama alert to do a like bloody argument, then you should to like prove each other's points." Then John Swan was just like, oh, I seem to be in a pickle,"
Yeah.
and
That's a good point. That's one of my problems with Keemstar. Well, actually, I take that back. That's not a bad idea. I think that was actually a good idea on his part
yeah,
because, like, having a regulated conversation about a topic like we're having now is very good. To have a mediator there is a very good thing. Um,
yeah,
I'd
that
have a problem if he
I
drummed
mean,
it up a ton. I don't know enough about the situation to say if he did or didn't, but if he drummed it up a ton, I've got a problem.
I mean well, first of all, that the interview never happened, but I do know for a fact because I watched a video on it recently by I think Turkey Tom about the baited podcast, which here's this. It was a podcast with Keemstar, Colossal is Crazy, and another dude, and they just argued, and the other dude was like the mediator for it, which is honestly a pretty good concept if you don't have Keemstar,
Yeah.
because Keemstar always takes
Um,
things to way too far.
in a
And
vacuum, ideas seem like good ideas until you put them actually into the field, and then you're like, oh God, why did I ever think about doing this?
and the main thing, the smoking gun that screwed the pooch of that podcast was I think was with the Leafy situation with how Leafy and Keemstar used to be
Yeah, yeah,
buddies,
yeah.
and then well until Grey Day and
Until that happened.
Leafy and all of them just started a war with him.
Hmm.
It First of all, I'm just going to get this out of here. It's a bit of a scummy move to do, but Keemstar is no strangers to scummy moves, so. But
That we can agree upon.
anyways, the the thing about that was that Colossal was crazy. Like Keemstar didn't had a problem with him defending Leafy, which
Yeah. Hmm. There's
which
nothing to defend what Leafy did.
which
I forget. I'll be
I
dead
mean
honest. I
no,
forget what he did exactly, but it is not okay. I know, like vaguely remember it was something of a very serious intent.
yeah, it
Uh,
was not good intent whatsoever. But the thing
there
about
was
it,
not anything okay about the
he
situation.
he
I'll have to
was
look at
trying to
it.
cancel Keemstar, him grade A and the works,
Yeah, yeah.
but it makes sense why he would be pissed. But the thing about Colossal is, and the thing about that Fade podcast is, Colossal was kind of like the polar opposite of Keemstar, which makes sense why he would disagree with Keemstar. If you can't deal with the idea of someone disagreeing with you on a podcast where that's the entire premise,
Hmm.
you're doing something wrong,
Yeah.
and you need to check
Um,
your ego.
I could definitely agree with that. If you're going to invite someone on for a regulated argument, you can't then be like, "No, I didn't like that you had a regulated argument with me."
Yeah, Keems,
Um,
but when it comes to people that don't deserve to be canceled,
mhm.
hey Jay Schlatt, how's it going?
Hey, Schley.
Let me
Yeah,
be
he's
completely
good.
honest. He makes some risky jokes. I mean,
Well, okay. I'll be honest. I feel like there's such a thing as towing the line between a subject. There it can usually be a walking the fine line, and certain people can pull it off. But I think Shot's one of those people. I
yeah.
will agree that maybe some of his comments and jokes may not always be in the best of taste, but in the end, you always know he's trying to tell a joke,
And
and that's an important thing.
the thing about Jay Schlatt is that he deeply cares for his viewers. That's something that I can
Mm-hmm.
commemorate him so much about because one of the best things about Jay Schlatt that I found was the weekly slap. And
Mm-hmm.
god dang, there's some touching stuff in there, which
Yeah, yeah, I
is
can agree with that.
just
I watched that too. It's a very good segment of his. Um,
which is
I
perfect
just
to like help his fans that might have, depression and have
Yeah,
terrible
definitely.
as he said
Answers
in
their
his goodbye
questions as
and
best.
and in his goodbye thing, he said it himself. There's just stuff that he's like the people just got a really bad hand of cards given to them, and it makes him tear up, which is just something
Hmm.
I'm sure anyone would love in a YouTuber.
Yeah, there's something definitely to be said that while Schlatt may not say the most acceptable or funny things, you always know he's trying to make you laugh and he's trying to tell a joke. And
and,
that's important to me.
and I
If you're
mean
at least
he's
trying to tell a joke and accepting the fact that, hey, I'm telling a joke for you to enjoy, it's better than him completely 100% not. Like
the
just
thing
trying to say something for more views. You can always be 100% clear that this guy's telling a joke.
thing about Schlatt is
Oh.
he he makes the jokes to lighten his audience because it's obvious that you know
Hmm.
that's why he even had to make a video about parasocial relationships, which I'm sure if I'm ever back on the show again, I will probably talk about that because that's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
can
I'm
of
sure. I'm sure we
beans.
can find another piece at some point about something.
That is a can of
Definitely.
beans of death. But
Yeah. I mean, I always just I think we can all agree that in the end, people like Schlatt or anything like that, they want to tell a joke. And sometimes it's not in the greatest taste, but in the end, you know they're trying to tell a joke. So
yeah, I
once you
mean,
accept the fact that these people are trying to tell a joke and they may not truly believe that, they're because more than once have I said a joke that I don't 100% agree with, but I just wanted to get the room to laugh.
yeah, trust me, my jokes. I mean, my status is literally comedy died when I was born. So, I mean, it makes sense why I believe that my some of my jokes are like not the greatest.
Yeah, well, you want to know what is comedical to me? Your face. Now
Yeah,
that one I did 100% agree with.
yeah. You see, I break
I'm
mirrors with
kidding.
my face. I'm like the Medusa, but male.
Oh God. You know, I've always had a question about Medusa, but it's still not family friendly to ask, so we'll not ask
Yeah,
it.
we'll hold off on that one.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah,
later.
yeah. You might talk about that one with Anna too.
Oh, what? Huh? Okay, we're gonna talk about this later. We're talking about this later.
Anna's not going to be too thrilled I said that one. But it's funny,
Um,
and that's also a joke that I'm very bad at having. Yeah, I swear this is the problem with the broadcast podcast. We get off topic really easily, but
oh
that's our
yes.
charm.
Yeah, hopefully. Uh,
And
yeah, back to topic a little bit. I will one example of cancellation that I had to get behind because I did believe something. And this doesn't really happen, and this one was the closest relationship I had with other than the Game Grumps thing, but the closest relationship I had to or the closest viewership and all that nature of a viewer to creator thing was Carson. Call me
oh,
Carson.
oh yeah, yeah. Carson is
He's a
definitely one that I.
necessary you if you bring up cancellation, I feel like you have to talk about
Yeah,
him
you have.
just as you must talk about Logan Paul.
So the thing about this, I do want to talk about. I've been interested in this whole topic to begin with. So Carson, let me set the stage for my opinion here. Carson
Hmm.
was amazing, and I was deeply sorry for him I was when he
What do you mean? What happened?
okay, that's fine. Okay, huh.
Can they still hear me?
Yeah, that was weird. Okay,
What happened?
yeah, my internet
Oh,
has
the same thing happened to me. It's fine.
yeah, my internet was is a little bit buggy right now.
Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties, but that's all right. We'll figure it out
Yeah,
at a later date. We apologize again, and we will figure it out before the next session.
yeah,
The main thing with me about Carson is like you. I watched his video. I loved his videos. I loved him before the
I love
Katarina thing.
I love the like his videos with Wilbur Soot because those were pretty funny.
I never
And
really liked those. I more liked his stuff before. Like I started watching him before that too. And
I'm not saying like
you go ahead, go ahead.
when I was first getting into Carson, it was like it was funnily enough around the time before he was canceled. Uh, his collab with Jaden and with Minecraft and whatnot.
Hmm.
That was that was a pretty good video. That I did enjoy that because
That was a good video.
Carson's humor was top notch. Jaden was being an idiot, but it's funny.
Um, the thing is that when I'd been watching Carson since his um beginning of his real big debut, so like the first time he jumped. I think I joined him back around when he was God, what, 110? 110,000, I want to say. Maybe probably a bit later, maybe when he hit 500,000. But I know I was there for when he hit a million and forward, at the very least. And so I had been watching him a ton and I'd seen his videos and I thought him and the group were funny. All that stuff was funny. And it was great videos. And the biggest, when news came out about the Catarino thing, I only the most heartfelt feelings towards him, and I hoped he got better. And it was very heartening of me to hear. And Jay Schlatt talked about this in the
Yeah.
weekly stat that they wanted to help him through that, and that's a sign of a good friend. But when I had heard about the thing that happened, it was, you can say it's like the five stages of grief. It's like literally the death of someone's character, because there's a lot of talk about it on YouTube how when you view a content creator or anything of that nature, you don't truly know them. You know them, but you don't truly know them. And I accept that. But we still get to know this character. And when you hear that they have essentially done this awful thing, you hit the five stages of depression. It's like first you're angry, and then you're just, well, I forget what the five stages of grief are. Uh,
The five stages of grief are denial,
yeah,
let's see,
denial.
denial, anger,
Yep.
bargaining, grief, or not grief, grief, dabda,
There's
dabda,
bargaining, depression, and
yeah,
acceptance.
bargaining, depressing, and acceptance.
And I can tell you, I went through all of these stages except for one, and that was bargaining. Because of course you can't really get around bargaining. But like you could say in a lot of ways that there have been many psychologists and therapists who have talked about it, but no one person has grief the same way. But in the end, everyone goes through these stages. It's all a matter of how fast do they go through each individual stage and how fast they go through the whole process. And literally, for some people, people could grieve for a week, people could grieve for a day, or they could grieve for years. And it doesn't matter how long you knew the person and how long you grieve, that doesn't show how much love or feelings you had for the person. It's all just a matter of how you handle it. And so for me, it took me about a week to truly accept what had happened. I denied that it had happened at first, and then I got angry at the fact that not only at first I was still in denial, I was angry at the fact that people had been spreading this sort of stuff. And then as I learned more about it, I was more angry with myself. And so then I didn't get depressed, but I got upset. I knew he was one of my favorite YouTubers, and it had really hurt me that something like that had happened because I had thought he was better than that. He was, and there's a lot to talk about how you put people on pedestals, but we'll talk about that later. But I just thought that something like that wouldn't happen because I thought I had at least known his character. But of course, you don't. You
That's
don't know a YouTuber's character.
that's the thing about YouTube though. Most people, and I'm not afraid to admit this, I'm probably going to end up having a mask, like in both figuratively and physically, because I'm literally going to make a mask, like a pokey mask,
Mm. Hmm.
because it's kind of funny. But I the thing about it is that I'm going to eventually probably have a mask. I might have already done it. I don't know, but
Yeah,
it's in certain times a mask is important to have because it hides, you know,
yeah, I
the
know what you mean.
the
There's
the
go
darkness
ahead,
in
finish.
someone's personality. You don't want an audience doesn't want to see it.
Hmm.
Most audiences don't want to see a sad man being ooh I am sad, and most people are like woe to me and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a lot that leads into that. When you sign up for YouTube, you essentially want to give audiences what they want. You don't want to give them the true you. You want to give them a fictional, fragmented you that people can easily digest and align with and like and enjoy and watch. And the important thing of all that is that when you start to like someone on YouTube to such a level that you believe you know them, you don't. You think you do, but you don't because you can never know them. And
I'm
the
pretty
reason for
sure
that
there's a
is
Bo
you
Burnham song that's something along the lines of that.
probably, I wouldn't be surprised, but you may know them, but you don't know. No, I'm kidding. You don't know the true them. You
Yeah,
don't
you
know
the
who they truly are.
the bad thing about in reality well about me is that most people from my school doesn't don't know what I am when I'm truly like active. In school I am very much antisocial. Like
You function on 10%.
yeah, but when it comes to my friends and I'm actually having fun, hello Landon. Um when I'm actually
Hey,
enjoying
that's Mac chicken to you, sir. No, I'm kidding.
when I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing here, then then I'm active. Then I can actually interact, and then you know I'm an actually likable person. But the thing about
Mhm.
when you have to go to school, you have to. I found out for at least my school. I'm not saying this for everyone else's school. Please do not take my advice here. I'm bad at advice. When I had to, what I had to do was pretend that I had to become less of a target. I
Yeah,
had to
you just
become
you
a lot stronger than I was because, or put a persona of I'm stronger than I am. Of course,
yeah, you put forward.
the mask eventually slides off your face because the thing about masks are your audience or the people that see you on a day-to-day basis will always know what you can always figure out what you are. It doesn't matter what the mask will eventually off. The mask will eventually become revealed. And
Yeah, there's a level of knowing people and acceptance of what a person is that you will never truly understand as people. Um, and I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, Cookie. Am I cutting you off?
nah, you're good. I could have gone
Okay.
all day with that spiel, but
Yeah.
we are
Um,
closing in on our end, so
yeah, we're closing in, but we've got about another 5 minutes or so before we gotta
actually
depart.
technically
And
10, but you know.
yeah, 10. No, 10 minutes. No, no, no. What about 20 minutes? No, no. What about 30 minutes? No, I'm kidding. Um, but there's just sometimes things that you have to accept about people that you don't want to believe are true, but because of you trust yourself. And important part of that for me was I did my research. I looked at everything I saw, and in the end, I came to the conclusion that yes, he had done something wrong. And the moment I accepted that was the moment I accepted the fact that this person was not who I thought he was. And that was kind of what brought me into the realization, oh crap, I never truly knew him.
Yeah.
And people come to that conclusion at their own rate. But it's all about making sure that while you may know someone, and you may root for them on the side. You're like, yeah, you got this. I believe in you, and all that sort of junk. You just gotta bring it down into frame and be like, okay, I don't know where I was going with this. You ever just start, like I put a full on Michael Scott here. I started talking and then what was like, where do I finish?
Excuse me, I don't want to look like an idiot here, but I've never watched The Office, or well,
No, you're
I've only
kidding.
watched one episode, and I just couldn't get into it.
You're kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding? I have a bow tie. I'm not
You're
jesting you here.
dude. I you're not who I thought you were, Pokey.
Mm,
I don't think we can be friends anymore, man.
that mask is slipping, isn't it?
It's slipping hard, man. Like drooping. It's gone. Um
Comedy
Nah,
genius.
there's just a part where Michael Scott is called in by his boss, and he's like, "So your numbers are up, and everyone else is going down. How are you doing so well?" Because they knew Michael, he's not a great boss, so they're like, "How are you doing so good?" And he's like, he just starts a sentence, and he's like, "Never, never, not." And he they pull him to the side and he's like, "What was that?" And he's like the camera crew, and they're like, yeah, sometimes I just start a sentence and I don't know where I'm going with it, so I just carry it on. That was the moment I had.
Okay, I have a request from. I'm sure you'll know who it is, but I'm supposed to say David Wallace.
That
I don't
that
know who
was
David Wallace is, but okay.
David Wallace is Michael's boss.
Okay.
That was the guy he was telling all that to.
Okay.
So let me think. What was I saying at this point?
Good question. Your brain is
Good
like
question. I
Mario.
know.
Your brain is
Just
like
like
Mario. You'll die on like a level and just completely kaplooey.
yeah.
Much like most of my insult slash conversations, I just completely
Um. Yeah. So for anyone who's out there and they want to give a recommendation for the podcast's next big topic, leave a comment or something of that nature. Like, subscribe, do all that junk,
hey,
and
according to
we'll
YouTube's analytics, I
according to
actually
our
looked at
analytics.
I actually looked at it today.
Oh, did
Um,
you?
yeah, apparently 44% of our subscribers are not subscribed, which is pretty impressive,
But
but
we can do
still,
better, guys.
yeah.
Um, just like feel free, leave a comment, and if as long as it's a serious topic that you feel should be spoken about. That can be anything from religion, worldview, philosophy, economics, things of that nature, politics. Feel free to leave it there,
I can tell you
and we can
one thing,
bring
I'm
it on.
not getting into religion. That is not a subject
Oh,
I'm going into, or politics.
nah,
Not
my
me.
good old friend. It's my form of specialty.
Landon, you and I both
Yes.
know which what our beliefs are here.
Yeah. I like to push the line. I'll put it like that. I'm someone who constantly lives in the place of hmm, question all authority. It's my personal opinion. You should always question authority, but we don't have to talk about that right now.
And another thing I'm supposed to say before, well, I mean, technically it's the near closing to the end, but so she doesn't kill me. I'm supposed to sponsor antagonist S word.
Ugh, why?
Um,
Why? Why would you ever want to do that? I'm sure she's watching right now, by
she
the way, but
is.
why? Why would you ever want to do that? I don't know what you mean. No, I'm kidding. She's very good. I enjoy her company a lot, and if you enjoy this podcast, I'm sure you would enjoy her content.
Yeah, she's good at
She's
art too.
yeah, she's definitely good at art. So feel free to check her out. She has what, a YouTube channel, Twitch, YouTube.
Both.
What she got? Both. She's got both. Check her out. I'm sure if you just looked up antagonist simp, you'd find her at some point. And I highly recommend it. So feel free.
Also, and I quote
Uh,
from her. message to me. Thank you to our sponsor, uh, antagonist
Did you
S
say?
word. He's beautiful
Did
and
you
funny and
say?
talented.
Okay, I thought he was gonna say the good old RS.
No, 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 no. And, but and she's saying stuff in chat that she's flattered. So good job, Landon.
Oh yay. So,
Anyways,
I think it's just about closing time.
yeah, it's
So
5 minutes
we'll end a little
till
early.
9 o'clock, but whatever. We can't go too much further with this. We've already
Yeah, we
stretched
don't
our
really
limit
need.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Next time I'll have a different guest, and just for a little bit of details into what this is a side branch of the broadcast podcast. So as of right now, we have not figured out a solid date, time, or anything of that nature for this, but this will be in inclusion of the broadcast podcast. So there'll be the broadcast podcast on Saturdays, 8 to 9:30 or so, and then this will be a new thing added uh, to happen on a different day. So we will have one of these every week. And
So,
I'll have a new guest, someone I trust and want to talk about a serious subject, or I may have returning guests to continue on a speech, talk about another subject. And if you have any ideas for like what we should, not only what we should talk about, but if for new models, like we should talk about this in this fashion, feel free to leave them down below. I'd be more than welcome to listen to them.
and I mean, let me also put this out here, considering I am the owner of the podcast. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I know for a fact. I'll just get this announcement out of the way because I'm sure once I do start doing the weekly updates again, because I'm very burnt out on
Whenever
that.
that is. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
Landon, you need to do the next one because the way
Oh,
how it works is each of the core members need to do a weekly update.
you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. You have to
God.
put an effort
I
into
know you're
this.
not kidding. That's the worst part.
Dude, you've got to, you do know I have to run this thing, right? I'm the
Yeah, yeah,
leader.
I know.
As Aziz has put it, I'm the leader, even though
Yeah.
I'm younger than you.
Leader
I,
quotations.
I'm, even though I'm younger than you all. Don't say my actual
It's
age because,
fine. I don't
yeah.
actually know how old you are,
Anyways,
so.
anyways, back on topic. We have Landon's side gig, obviously, which is the serious sideshow, or as I like to call it, the broadcast podcast serious stuff with a chicken.
Yes. Ha. Oh
Um,
God, that burger's coming back up.
gross. Anyways, um, I'm doing what's called a game show, and anyone in our that's watching should sign up for what's coming up next, which is the Broadcast Podcast official Jeopardy. Oh yeah, we're going there.
Oh God. Sign
Um,
me up, please.
um, Hanji's thing. He is thinking about doing a news segment about the world, so like Keemstar but better. Let me just jab against 10 million subscriber channel. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I'm sure that'll go perfectly fine.
I mean, if we haven't brought him up and jabbed him enough right now, okay. First off, I'd be shocked if he actually
Yeah, 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 yeah,
answered us
yeah.
with a reply.
Yeah,
But like,
we'll talk about this later. I need a sponsor here.
for legal matters, don't sue us.
Yeah, for legal reasons, that's a joke. Um, and lastly, Anna's thing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be arts, art stuff and story time. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be doing that live because a lot of things can go poorly. And heck, speed art is fun, and I would love to learn how to edit those.
Oh, like doing what's it
Speed
face?
paint,
Like just yeah, yeah. I want
yeah,
to do like an acrylic pour one day. That's for talk for a later date.
yeah.
Um,
So that's in the future.
yep. So we're just hit the time. So I've been your host, Mac Chicken. And next time we do this, we'll have a new guest. No offense, Pokey. You've been amazing. Thank you for coming on and talking about this topic. Um, do you have any channel or anything like that that you're a part of other than the broadcast podcast that you would like
I
to sponsor?
mean, a simple Google search, you can see Pokey Funky. So
Yep. So feel free, go to his YouTube channel. I think he has one. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I have exactly one video on it, and it looks like horse crap. Please don't click on it.
I also have my own personal Twitch channel. I don't upload a lot, so but why not pull a J Schlatt and make it very popular, even though I don't upload a lot. It's literally just Mac Chicken 23 because someone decided to take Mac Chicken. Why I have no clue, but we'll figure that out. Um, and I may or may not be showing at your house with the cease and desist order. I'm talking to you, whoever you are.
Hey, I mean,
So
you gotta understand
the
pokey
gratitude of my name.
the pokey flunky name is not just a me thing. There's a pokey. I'm the pokey funky 23rd or 32nd.
All right, this has been the Serious Sideshow. We will see you all later.
Bye now.